So anyway, what happens is I walk out. He walks me out. I get in my fucking car. I remember before I left, he said, listen, I talked to my lieutenant. He said, we got a lot of questions. He goes, do me a favor. He goes, don't leave town like that. And I go, come on, bro. Where am I going to go? I said, I own 2 houses here. I said, I promise you, I haven't done anything wrong. And I get in the car and I leave.
You're good, bro.
I go straight to another bank. I get out fucking like $8,000 or $9,000. I go straight to another bank. I get out like $6,000 or $7,000. I go straight to another bank. And the 2 tellers, when I walk in, they see me and they almost bang into each other to get to the phone. And I stop and I'm like, no.
Damn, they knew, like, they recognized you?
Right. See, I don't think they knew. So like a notice went out to all these banks, right? Like, but they don't know how many bank accounts I have.
They don't know all your aliases.
No, they're still putting things together.
I got you.
Like, they only caught 3 mortgages, and I got like 6. So some of those checks have gone in this bank. They don't know about this loan and this bank. So, and I don't really know exactly what they know. So at that point, I was like, yeah, I turn around, I get my car. I remember when I drove off, one of the women came running out and got my tag number, but they already had my tag number. But I was like, that's when I was kind of like, I feel fucked up in the bank, like something's wrong. These 2 chicks are banging into each other, something's going on. But I was, you still, who knows? But when I got my car and drove off and the chick ran out of the bank to get my tag number, it's like, oh yeah, I was right. I leave, I get on the interstate.
How much money did you end up grabbing?
I left over $600,000 in the bank.
Damn. And you knew that was gone.
Oh, it's gone. That's gone. So I drive back to Charlotte. By this point, the chick that I was dating.
This is the girl with, well, what do I do?
Yeah. She had moved to Houston, Texas.
Are you guys split up at this time, or?
We basically been split up. Like we were, she's psycho. She's a bipolar lunatic, bro.
I don't like you and I don't like that.
But she also was on the run with me, so I can't leave her.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I can't leave her.
And you gotta like keep her near you, because if you leave her, then she could.
Oh, she could. Oh, yeah, not just that. Any moment she could do that.
Yeah.
She's insane. She's fucking crazy. So I'm terrified.
That's why you don't have co-defendants.
Never been so fucking scared in my life. I go straight back to Charlotte. I pack up all my shit in a U-Haul, because she's telling me, she's like, first of all, we're having a screaming match. You were gonna fucking leave me. You weren't gonna get. No, I was just trying to get you to leave. I was packing my stuff. I was gonna come. I was like, you fucking bitch. and so we're screaming. I drive all the way back to Charlotte. I pack up my stuff in a U-Haul van. I drive across the country to Houston. Keep in mind, she has all the money.
Are you like paranoid through all this? Like when you're driving, getting pulled over?
I'm not, because I've been pulled over and gotten tickets. I got so many tickets I think I said this last time. I got so many tickets. One time I went to traffic school as a guy.
Oh my God.
I got like 3 tickets. I'm going to lose the guy's license. Like, I've got 2 cars in his name in an apartment. I can't lose his license, so I go to traffic school. Plus, it was like 4 hours. I didn't have to be around that fucking crazy chick.
Oh, okay. So it got you away from her.
I mean, she was insane. So I drive across to Houston. I get to Houston. We unpack all my shit, including all of the information I've collected on fake IDs, everything. It's all in the storage unit. Because we were like, look, let's just lay low for a while and we'll start another scam. Like, that one didn't pan out. I got like $500,000-$600,000 out of that one. I left a chunk of money there.
What made you leave it?
Because every time I walked in the bank, they're looking for me. I can't go back.
Yeah, those 2 ladies.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they know about all the bank accounts. They're putting it together. There's a lot of paperwork. They're figuring out where the money went. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm done. I'm done eventually, and I don't want to be there when it comes down. So I'm now in Houston. The chick and I get into this huge fight, and I'm like, look, I'm like, it's hilarious too, the fight, but we get into this huge fight. I'm like, I'm done. I just want to get my stuff and leave.
What were you guys like fighting about though? Just all the shit that was going on?
We were fighting because I made her stop. We were driving through this little area. Like, she's rented a condo on like the fucking, whatever, the 15th or 20th floor of this nice condo building in the middle of the town. It's nice. We're driving around and we see one of those tube things on a piece of real estate, like, where you can, the information tubes.
Oh yeah, and the sign, below the sign.
Right. So I stop. I say, hey, stop. And she goes, what? And I stop. I jump out of the car. I grab one. And she goes, what are you doing? She goes, I thought we weren't going to run a scam. I said, no. I said, I'm not going to run a scam. I said, but I need to find a place to live. And she goes, and we had been living separately anyway because she was so fucking crazy. You'd have to hear the soul story. She got the cops called on me twice.
We're going to do an episode
She's insane.
on her. Yeah.
She's insane. So I go, I'm like, I said, well, I mean, I need a place to live. And she's like, oh, you can't live with me. You can't stomach living with me for even a couple of fucking weeks. Is that it? I'm so disgusting. You can't. And I'm like, but she's bipolar. She just spikes. And I'm like,
I don't know how you dealt with that, bro.
what am I going to, I'm sitting there going, what am I going to do? I can't do anything. I'm done. And she has all the money. So I'm sitting there looking at her. I'm like, I can't live together. This isn't working. Fuck you. So she finally calms down. We go back. We're back at the apartment. We get into the elevator. And I remember we got in the elevator and a fucking hot chick that looked like a fucking stripper walks in the fucking elevator. And I mean, I immediately, you know how it is. Like there's like your girl's there, this hot chick's here, and I'm like, I don't even look. I mean, I'm looking at the fucking wall. I already know I'm fucked just because this chick...
You look awkward because you're trying to, like, not look at her.
I'm so making it obvious I'm not looking. And I already know this chick. I already know I'm done because the chick is even in the elevator. It's already a screaming match.
Yeah.
It's already over. And I haven't even looked at the chick. Like, I'm looking down. As soon as we get to our floor and we get off the floor, as we're walking out of the elevator, she says, oh, I bet you just love to fuck that skank. And I remember as the elevator doors are closing, the girl goes, hey.
Hey, that would be so funny if she put her hand in and went out there like, who are you talking about?
When we get to the apartment, it's another screaming match. You're getting this huge screaming match. And it's funny because on the American Greed episode, I
don't think that people know like how big your shit was.
Oh yeah, it was American Greed and Dateline.
Yeah.
But on the American Greed episode, she told like American Greed that she had gone into the shower, took a shower. When she came out, I was gone with all the money. Now that's absolutely not true.
Yeah.
What happened was I didn't even know where the money is in the apartment. So she and I start arguing. I said, listen, let's just split up the money and I'm gone. And she's like, I'm not giving you any money. And I went, no, we'll split the money. She goes, no, fuck that. We start screaming. And I went,
flipped out.
And keep in mind, we're yelling, but she's already yelled so loud at the other place in Charlotte, she got the cops called multiple times.
I can't stand that, bro, when girls do shit like that.
So she starts, and we're both wanted. We're both wanted. So it's not like you and your girl.
She's wanted?
She knows she's wanted.
So
we were arrested.
nuts.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah, she's nuts.
So she's yelling and screaming, and I'm like, look, I want the money. And she's like, and at one point I figure out where the money is. And I said, listen, you come up with, here's what was her argument. Her argument was this. Her argument was, I can't do what you do, so I have to live off of this money. I need this money to go to school, to retrain myself, to start a new life. I can't live off, I have to need the money. You'll just go somewhere else and steal more money. You'll run another scam.
But you need money to make money in these scams,
right, but I need something. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so what the fuck am I going to do? I mean, I'm like, well, how much do you think you want to give me? And she goes, nothing. And I went, are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah, like you've got over $600,000 here.
And she wants every penny?
And I go, what is fair? What do you think? She goes, I'll give you $10,000.
Oh my.
And I go, 10,000. I said, listen, you come up with a fair number. I said, or I'm going to take all the fucking money.
That's
and
what
she
I
goes,
said.
And she went, I said, so you've come up with what fair number right now? I'll take it all. She goes, and do what? And she goes, and do what? She goes, take off in that. She goes, take off in that like a U-Haul truck, or it was a ride or whatever. She goes, take off in that. She goes, and what? Take off in the U-Haul. She said that the cops are going to be looking for her.
So at that point,
I know she'll call the cops.
Oh man.
You know, and keep in mind,
did you think about killing her?
No. Why do you say? Everybody says that.
I mean,
never thought. I mean, that's like. Zach and I were talking about that. Zach's like, guys are every time I tell somebody one of my stories, they're like, why didn't you just kill her? I'm not a killer.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm sure you wanted to though.
Oh, listen. Oh my god,
bro, that's nuts. That you basically are doing everything, going in the banks.
Oh, she's doing nothing. She's useless.
She's waiting in the car.
Yeah.
That's nuts, bro.
So we start yelling at each other, and I said, I'll take all the fucking money unless you come up with something. And she says, I'll give you $100,000. And I go, wrap it up. Let's go.
Damn.
Give me 100,000. She counts out 100,000. She still screwed me out of a couple grand. Well, I didn't know it at the time because she's like,
savage.
because all the packages we had written like 5,000, 7,000, 2,000.
Right.
So she's like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. She goes, that's 10. 2,000. She's going boom, 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 boom.
She's counting like a cashier.
Bam, 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 bam. Boom. There's $100,000. So I said, boom. I slooped it up. It was only really 97,000. But I take it. I throw it in my fucking bag. I put everything up. And what had happened in the past, because I tried to leave her several times in the past, she always called me. And she would start calling, begging me, and I fucked up, and I'm sorry. And so this time, when I was walking out, like I left her in the other room, I just leave. And as I'm walking out, I pull my fucking cell phone out, and I stick it on the counter, and I keep walking. And I just always remember thinking, I wish that I could be there when she starts calling and realizes the phone's ringing in the other room.
Oh, that would be classic.
Yeah, I was like, so I walk out the door, I get in the elevator, go down, I get in the fucking Ryder truck. And keep in mind too, at this point, all of my IDs, my alternate identities and information are all locked up in a storage unit, which she won't go to get.
So now you're basically got to start from scratch.
Right. I get in the Ryder truck. I've got an ID. The only ID I have, or it's not like Michael Johnson, but is Michael Johnson's ID. That's the only driver's license I have, and they know about it.
Are you worried though? She's still going to call the cops as you're driving down the road? And
yeah, I thought about it, but I thought she doesn't know where I'm going. She doesn't know anything. Oh, I remember too when I told her when she said, "What are you gonna do?" This is funny because I remember when we were yelling about the money. I said, "I'll take all the money." She goes, "What are you gonna do?" She goes, "And what?" She goes, "And what? You're gonna what? Make your getaway?" She goes, in that Ryder in the U-Haul truck that they're gonna be looking for.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I go, if I got 600,000, I said, I don't need that fucking truck. And she looked at me and I said, now you come up with a fair fucking number. And that's when she was 100,000. I take off. I'm driving. I drive all the way. I'm driving and driving. I stop. I get a cell phone, like a burner phone. Get a burner phone. I activate it. I start calling people. I call my mom. I call some friends. I call this one chick named Susan, who used to. She was a broker for me. She says, listen, you got to call the FBI. Try and turn yourself in. She said, maybe you can get a deal. Maybe you don't know. You could go to they have like camps. Like I don't know anything about prison. All I know is I've seen Shawshank Redemption. I saw the movie Animal Factory, where dudes are getting fucking beaten, raped.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen brutal fucking films about prison. I don't know about a camp.
Yeah.
Like there's no camp. Like I don't know what that means. So, and I've been on the run, so
they don't go easier on you when you turn yourself in. I've turned myself in on a
Oh no.
They almost look at you like, you fucking idiot.
Oh no, look, you got to come get me.
Yeah.
So I always love those guys that would show up for prison. Like, you showed up here for an 8-year fucking bid? And they're like, yeah. And it's like, you got to come get me. I'm not showing up. I'll tell you right now. I'm not coming.
Yeah.
So what happens is, she begs me to call the FBI. So I call the FBI. I call, the agent's name is Candace Calderon. And I call her up, and she's a fucking horrible person. Fucking mean as a fucking snake. The FBI agent she works with hate her. So I'm telling her, like,
this is who's in charge of your case at this point?
fuck yeah, for the FBI, she hates me. Hates me. Anyway, look, we argue, we get into an argument where she's telling me, she keeps calling me sweetie. And she goes, well, you need to turn yourself in. And I go, well, that's not going to happen. I said, what kind of a deal can I get? And she goes, well, that's not how this works, sweetie. She goes, you turn yourself in, then we take it into consideration. I went, no. I said, I'm not stupid enough to fucking fall for that.
I would have been
The
like,
old
bye, sweetie.
Yeah, the old okey doke. She goes, listen, sweetie. She said, we're going to find you. She goes, we're going to find you. And I said, really? She goes, oh, we will find you. And I go, well, what's taking you so long? And she said, she goes, God, oh, you are cocky, aren't you? She goes, you're a cocky little shit, aren't you? And I went, yeah, well, I'm not stupid enough to fucking turn myself in and hope for the best. And she goes, well, we'll catch you eventually. She said, you'll go home to see your family, or she said, or someone will recognize you, or you'll get picked up. By the police, and they'll run your ID, or what'd she say? She said, or somebody will recognize you. I said, listen, stop. I said, let me explain something. I said, there ain't nobody in fucking Tampa I want to see. I said, and as far as you recognizing me, I said, I've had multiple plastic surgeries. I said, so nobody's gonna recognize. By this point, I've had a nose job, I had a facelift, I've had 2 hair grafts. I had like I've had a fucking I've had liposuction. I had my fucking teeth done. Like I've had everything. Like, and I said, you're not gonna recognize me. Nobody's gonna recognize me. I said, as far as a cop pulling me over, I said, I've gotten like 6 or 7 different tickets. I said, I went to traffic school as somebody else the other day. I said, you're not gonna recognize me. I said, I'm not the kind of guy that drives around in a car with a broken taillight and a body in the trunk, okay? I said, if the only way we're ever talking in person is if I turn myself in. I said, now what kind of deal can I fucking get? Or I can just go. And she goes, okay, all right, well, let me call the U.S. attorney. She calls the U.S. attorney.
You're a savage, bro.
Listen, I'm fucking like shaking and I didn't even think of it. She calls the U.S. attorney. She comes back. This is what was funny about this. See, this is fucking too long already. I'm talking to her on the phone, right? And I remember saying to her, she said, let me call the U.S. attorney. I'll call you back. What's the phone number? I guess it didn't come up or something. And I went, no. I said, I'm going to.
They were trying to trace your call.
Well, I said, no. I said, I'll just call you back. She goes, well, just give me your phone number. And I said, no, you're probably triangulating this fucking call right now or something. And she goes, oh, get over yourself. You're not that important.
Oh, bullshit. I'm
And
number 1 on the most wanted.
What? Not just that. Like, keep in mind on the number 1 of the Secret Services, and this is the FBI. They'd love to get you instead of the Secret Service
because they're like in competition.
They're the competition.
Yeah.
So she goes, but when she said that, you know what I thought? Yeah, she's right. Like, who am I? I'm nobody. Like, yeah, okay. I was like, yeah. And then but for some reason I went, nah, you know what? I said, I'm gonna shut the phone off and I'll call you back in like an hour. She goes, all right, whatever you want to do. Hangs up. I shut off the phone. After I get caught, I order the Freedom of Information Act on myself. I find out she hung up, called the U.S. Marshals. The U.S. Marshals called, tracked the fucking, she already had the phone number.
Yeah, I already figured
tracked the phone number and tracked it back to where I had bought the phone. Like, they couldn't find it, but they found where I bought it.
Did you ditch the phone after the phone call?
No, bro. I'm still sitting in the place where I bought it.
Oh my!
So it was like a convenience store. It's like a Wawa. It wasn't Wawa because there was no Wawa. It was like that, like one of those big fucking.
Sell everything.
So I walked over and I was eating a Subway. Like, it was a Subway in it, and I was eating a Subway in a fucking booth, talking to her on the phone. Hang up the phone, thinking they can't track me. They tracked me back to this place where I bought it, 30 feet away in the same building. Like, I'm, with it. Like, I got it behind the counter.
So you're eating, watching them pull up to the building?
No, I didn't, because when I called back.
Oh, okay.
So I called her back. Well, I didn't call her back. I waited like 30, 45 minutes or something. And then I did call her back once, and she still hadn't heard from them. I hang up again, shut it off. So I'll call you back in an hour. I then get in my truck and I leave. They actually, 2 U.S. Marshals had been dispatched from Baton Rouge, and they drove there. Like, for all I know, as I'm leaving, they're driving right by me. Like, I don't know how long it took.
That's probably what happened, man.
But I mean, Baton Rouge was it was 30 or 40 minutes. It wasn't that far away. So I get in my truck, I leave, I drive back, I call her back. She says, look, 7 years. He'll give you 7 years. And I went, if you turn yourself in. I said, okay. So, and I was thinking.
Let me get that in writing.
Well, one, I didn't know that. I'm still a fucking normal kind of person. I still think if they say something, they have to, like, if she says it, then it's solid. Like, I don't know that the cops lie.
Yeah, you're green on the games they're playing.
I'm used to watching Law and Order where they find out that they convicted an innocent man, and they're like, we've got to get him out of prison immediately, not realizing what they really do is say, oh, fuck him, he did something. Like, they'll fight to keep you in prison even if they think you didn't do it. Like, I didn't know how it worked.
That's crazy.
So I'm still thinking they're all upstanding. I'm thinking the FBI is like the top-notch tier of law enforcement, and they're all about honor and I was way off. So
yeah, you were way out in left field.
So I end up as we're talking, she and I are arguing. I'm trying to get her below 7 years. She's like, well, I can't.
So you're making deals now?
I'm like, yeah, no, 7,
5?
yeah. What are we talking about? What does that cover? And that covers it. So I end up I keep saying, look, why don't I? She goes, you got to turn yourself in here in Florida. She ends up saying 7 years, and I'm arguing with her because she doesn't know about everything. So I say, why don't I turn myself in Atlanta? And she's like, no, you got to come to Tampa. And I'm like, no, why not Atlanta? I'm closer to Atlanta. She keeps saying Tampa. And then I start to realize, does this cover everything? And I go, I've got crimes all over the place. So does this cover what I did in Atlanta? And she's like, just turn yourself in. Like, I asked her 3 times. She never answered.